Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and it's crazy to say, but this is the week 10 challenges guide. That is right guys, the last week of challenges before season 7 starts. And you guys know that I'll be doing challenge guides for that season as well, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But yeah, for this one, for week 10, of course I'm going to show you guys the locations of the time trials for the vehicles, the secret banner / star location. I'll explain more about that when we get to it. Also like the locations of the Camel crashed bus and stuff like that, as well as all of the other challenges. We're going to be going through tips, tricks, and secrets for them so that you guys can get done with these challenges as quickly as possible. And also we're going to be talking a little bit about like the hunting party loading screens and things like that. So yeah guys, definitely going to be a very helpful video, and if you do find it helpful, be sure to hit that like button down below. Always helps me out so much and encourages me to make more of these guides. And on top of that, be sure to comment what level you guys are at. The season's coming to an end here, so I'm curious to see where you guys are at. And personally, I'm at level 72, tier 100. But yeah guys, without further ado, let's jump on into it here. First of all, with the quick overview of the challenges that we're going to be going over. Of course, I'll be showing you guys the secret banner / star, the last one. And again, I'll explain more about that when we actually get to that. But then for the challenges themselves, we're going to be going over the place-mounted turrets in separate matches, how to do that the fastest, visit a Camel, Viking ship, and crashed battle bus. I'll show you all of the locations of those. You've also got shotgun eliminations and then the stages for those as well as complete vehicle timed trials. I'll get you guys a bunch of the locations for that so you know exactly where to go. Then search chests at Paradise Palms or Tilted Towers, show you some good spots. And then you've got land at location stages and also build structures. So we're going to be going through tips and tricks for all of those again to help you guys get them done as fast as possible. So yeah, without further ado here, let's jump on into it with the first challenge I want to talk about, and that is the search chests at Paradise Palms or Tilted Towers. So this one may seem straightforward at first, but let's go over like the quickest way to do it, because you guys know you could probably just go into solo, go to these locations a few games, and you'll eventually get it done. But there are faster ways, I think, to do it. Now specifically, I would maybe try out squads if you're trying to get this done like super fast, like go into solo squads, because as usual, most people are going to be doing their challenges in solo and not in squads, so these areas might be a little bit less quiet in those modes. You could also do like high explosives or something like that, or the team rumble, but team rumble you have to wait until the end of the game, so that kind of takes up a ton of time. But yeah, once you're there, Tilted does have more chests, I believe, overall, but Paradise is generally a little bit less common, so you know, give or take. But like if you're going to Tilted, I would maybe just go to the buildings like on the outside, the ones that are a little bit less common, like maybe even under the basketball court, stuff like that. You could also try and get like the secret one under this floor right here, maybe one in the shop or whatever it's called, also the one under this tree like nobody ever goes for. But then for Paradise Palms, you know, just go to any house that other people aren't dropping at. It's really pretty easy at Paradise Palms. The buildings are fairly similar, there's no like super secret chests, so just go to one where not a lot of other people are going, and that should help you guys get it done fairly fast. But then moving on here, let's get into it with the secret banner or star. And the reason I say both is because I'm not 100% sure yet which it is. I think it's a banner just because that's how it's been in the past, but I haven't quite gotten it yet, simply because, you know, you have to complete all the challenges first. I wanted to get this guide out to you guys right away, but I do know the location of it. Pretty sure I do. The loading screen has been flying around a lot on like Reddit and Twitter and just online, and as you guys know, there's always a little clue hidden within the loading screens, and the one for this week is pretty interesting. Now real quick before we get into it guys, I have a cool tip for you that you guys may not know that will help you keep track of which loading screen challenges you still have to do, like the secret stars and banners you still have to find, because if you're missing one, it can be a pain to try and remember which one exactly it was. But there is a way to tell exactly which ones you need, and it's pretty simple. All you have to do is go into your hunting party challenges. You do have to go to that menu specifically and then take a look at the green check marks. Specifically what you're looking for is the ones without the green glow around them. If they do have a green glow, that means you've already found the star banner for that week, so just take a look at which ones do not have that glow, and those are the ones you still need to do. On top of that guys, you do need to complete this week's challenges, and I believe the previous weeks as well, in order for the banner to show up on the map itself. So before even trying to find it, make sure you get the challenges and stuff done in order to get this to show up in the first place. But yeah, once you have those completed, basically where you want to go into game is the southern portion of the map inside of the desert area, but specifically sort of at this location near Fatal Fields. Now the clue supposedly said that it's at G8, G9, and H8, H9, which on the map, if you look at where those quadrants intersect, the star should be at that location supposedly. If for some reason it's not there and it changes for whatever reason, simply check the pinned comment down below. So if you go over to that location, you'll notice that there's nothing specific like on the ground itself that shows where it is, at least I think. But if you just go to this location, it should be in this general area. You can also check the top right of your map. Again, it should be at that intersection. So just walk around here. It's probably a little bit in front of these patches of grass right here. here, but once you get close to it, it should pop up and then you can pick it up. Now, for some reason, Epic Games decides to change the location of this, or it doesn't show up here for whatever reason. Simply check the pinned comment down below. I will update you guys on the location down there, but I'm pretty sure it should show up right around this area. So yeah, guys, but keeping it going here with the next challenge I want to go over. This one is a pretty easy one, to be honest, and that is the land at location stages, with the first of which at Lazy Links. Now, honestly, this one is pretty straightforward, but one of the tips that I can give you is to maybe try to complete other challenges as well when you are doing this one. There's a couple coming up that could probably be done with this. We'll go over those specifically, but yeah, I mean, honestly, the only way to get this one done is to just land at these locations during your games. It's gonna take you a little bit of time, but if you try to do some of the other ones as well, maybe you can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. But then after that, we do have a fairly interesting challenge, which kind of reminds me of the old challenges where it had like a clue to find the star, and it was like search between these things, but unfortunately, it is not that type of challenge. Hopefully, they bring those back next season. I'm crossing my fingers that they do. But yeah, I'm getting off track. This is the visit a camel, a Viking ship, and a crashed battle bus challenge. So basically, you just have to go to these different landmarks. Now, if you don't know where they are, don't worry, I got you guys covered as always. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. It doesn't really matter which game mode you do these in, but hey, maybe you can try to go to multiple at the same time. And speaking of which, if you do want to try to do multiple, I mean, these are pretty far away from each other, to be honest. But the first of which I want to go over the Viking ship, as you guys probably already know. This one is pretty obvious. It is in the Vikings village near Greasy Grove. However, if you do go to that Viking ship, I believe it's the big one right here, you can then maybe take a rift and try to head over to the next one, which is the Camel. Now, the Camel is in the desert area, sort of close to Lucky Landing. It's near the edge of it. If you go down the road, as you can see right here, you will find the Camel off on the side near the gas station, and if you go to that, it should complete the next part of the challenge. But yeah, if you're able to rift from the Viking village sort of close over to here and run over here as well, and then just finish off the rest of the distance by running, you could maybe get 2 in 1 game. Now then, for the crashed battle bus, this is probably going to be hard to do all 3 of them in the same game, because the crashed battle bus is at Lazy Links. It is actually to the west of Lazy Links a little bit. If you go down the road and then go up this hill right here, you will find the battle bus right there. So if you go to that one, it should be your final one for this challenge, and you should get it done. But moving on here, guys, to the next challenge I want to talk about. This is the build structures one, which is so simple. Really, the only tip I can give you guys is to probably not even worry about this one. I'd save it for the end, because when you're playing games, normally you're going to get this done. And 250 structures is about, 2.5 full sets of mats. So it will take you a little bit of time, but you will get it done eventually. And yeah, I mean, if you do want to rush through it, you can always just go to Wailing Woods or something like that. Do something like probably Team Rumble, because then you could have like Wailing Woods to yourself and be pretty safe over there, and you could just, break down a bunch of trees and then build a bunch of materials. And then once you get to 250, you'll have this challenge done. It's really pretty easy overall. So yeah, guys, there you go for that one. After that one, though, the next challenge I want to go over is the place mounted turrets in separate matches. Now, this one is pretty straightforward, but obviously the tough part about it is actually finding the mounted turrets in order to place them down. And also with that, obviously, it does say that you need to do these in different matches, so you're not going to be getting this one done faster than at least 3 matches. However, what are better ways to, find these mounted turrets? Now, unfortunately, we don't have food fight anymore. Maybe it'll come back this week. We don't really know. But if that mode does come back, that one is so easy to find mounted turrets in. It's honestly probably the best one, but since it is not here, I'm pretty sure most of the game modes we have right now are pretty much the same for dropping these mounted turrets. Besides high explosives, I don't think that one actually has these in it, but with that being said, probably the way that I'm going to do it is to just play solo normally, and when you get eliminations and stuff like that, generally a lot of other players are carrying these, so if you get an elimination on them, you'll probably end up getting a few throughout the game. But after that, let's move on to one of the most important challenges this week, and probably one of the tougher ones, the Vehicle Timed Trials Challenge. And I've got a bunch of locations for these to show you. Now, real quick before we get into it, guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I post these guides every single week for the challenges, so if you want to know the fastest and best ways to do those challenges, being subscribed and also having notifications turned on is the best way to know about them. And for sure, guys, I will be doing these in Season 7, so stay tuned. But yeah, getting back into it with the timed trials, this time for vehicles. Obviously, as you may expect, they are very similar to the other timed trials where you just, collected the different things, but not in a vehicle. If you remember those ones, you had to go up to the stopwatch, activate it, and then run around collecting the other pieces of it. I think they were like mini stopwatches, but you had to collect all of those within a set amount of time to complete a part of the challenge. Now, these are very similar to those, except they are with a vehicle. So like, as you can see here, you activate it, and then you need to get into a vehicle like an ATK or a quad crasher and race around picking up each one of these until you collect all of those within the time limit. So yeah, it is pretty straightforward, but the tough part about that is obviously, finding the locations themselves. But don't worry guys, I've got a bunch of locations to show you here, and you do only need 3, but I'll show you 4 of them so you also have an extra in case you want to, switch it up a little bit. But the one I've been showing you right here is actually at the RV place next to Retail Row. It's to the east of it a little bit, sort of near that carnival game from the last week, but it is out in front, so grab a quad crasher from inside the park, then drive it out there, and then complete the trial like I showed you. But then after that, and also thanks to Suiting Rex on Twitter for tweeting me one of these locations, but yeah, there is one near Flush Factory, so you can grab a quad crasher like from the parking lot, and then bring it up to the top of this hill right here, and you will find one on the very top. After that, then you also have one near Dusty Divot, sort of near the center of Dusty Divot, right over here, and there's generally some quad crashers in the back of these trailers. They may or may not spawn there, but that is where one of the trials is. And then for a 4th one, just as an extra one in case you want to go to different locations, there is also one near Lazy Links, right over here, so just grab an ATK and you'll be able to start that one and then complete it. So yeah guys, overall not too difficult. But then for the final challenge I want to go over here, this one is pretty easy and straightforward. It is the Elimination Stages challenge, with the first stage being shotguns, which is pretty straightforward. That honestly shouldn't really be that hard. And then for the other stages, as of right now, I don't know them quite yet. I haven't gotten to these just because they are pretty straightforward, but I expect it just cycles through the different types of weapons. So basically the only thing I really need to tell you guys about these, you can obviously just play normally and probably get these done. I mean, you're going to get eliminations when you're playing for fun and probably using these different items, but still the best way to do these if you're having a tough time is to do it in the new Team Rumble mode. The reason for that is because of respawns, and you have a ton of time at the beginning of the games to search for loot and get the ones that you need, and then you can just go into the final circle and keep trying to get an elimination with them. So yeah guys, really shouldn't be that hard, but that is going to be the final challenge for this video. So I hope you guys found it helpful, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more guides like this coming out in the near future. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my week 9 challenges guide, and then on the right, a bunch of secret changes in the recent update. But other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.